My husband drained our account, forged my name on a $40,000 loan, and left divorce papers on the kitchen table, like a grocery list. His little sister. She was in my bathrobe on our security cam, smiling. I was making him coffee while they planned it all. That was 2 weeks ago. Now, I'm done being the fool. Daniel insisted that Daniela move in just until she found her footing. He said it with that cloying charm he used every time he wanted something to sound noble. I remember nodding, telling him I trusted him completely. He kissed my forehead and slipped his mother's wedding ring onto my finger, saying it symbolized loyalty. Back then, I thought it was beautiful, his way of honoring family. Daniela was quiet, polite, almost too careful around me. She cleaned obsessively and always looked surprised when I walked into a room, like she expected someone else. But I was too in love to notice. One morning, I found Daniela curled up on our couch wearing my favorite robe, the blue silk one Daniel gave me for our anniversary. She looked half asleep, legs tucked under her, sipping from his mug. Daniel walked in behind me, shirtless, and laughed it off with that cloying charm that always made me second. Guess my instincts. She gets cold easily, he said, pulling me close like nothing was off. I smiled back, even as something in my stomach twisted. I told myself they were just clothes, that I was overthinking. But deep down, something small and scared had already started to crack. I noticed a $6,000 withdrawal I didn't authorize labeled as a home repair. When I asked Daniel, he tilted his head and gave me that cloying charm he used when lying felt like breathing. It's probably a bank error, babe. I'll fix it, he said, brushing it off like lint. Michelle had warned me last week to start checking our accounts, but I'd laughed, said we were fine. That night, I stared at the login screen for an hour, wondering if love meant blind trust or just blindness. I wanted to believe him, I really did, but something didn't add up. When I left work one evening, both of my rear tires were slashed. I stood frozen, clutching my bag, trying not to panic. Stephen from marketing walked by and muttered, "Didn't that girl, Danny, Ella, wait in the lobby for hours last week?" My chest tightened. At home, I told Daniel what happened. He chuckled, rubbing my shoulders with that cloying charm, whispering, "Probably just some random vandal." But the next morning, Daniela avoided my eyes and wore my exact perfume. I asked myself if I was being paranoid, or if she was slowly unraveling everything I thought was mine. While organizing our tax paperwork, I found a loan agreement I'd never signed. Yet it had my name, my signature, even my old address. I froze, the pen stroke looked off. I confronted Daniela, who just smirked and said, "Maybe the printer glitched." Her tone was syrupy, smug. I asked Daniel, but he deflected with that cloying charm again, murmuring, "Let me handle it." That night, I dug through our file cabinet and found documents out of order, pages swapped. A few were missing entirely. I didn't know what they were hiding, but for the first time, I knew they were hiding something.